Hillary. But they're kings. Don't get it twisted. When we think of king, we think of an automatic that this is it's a righteous thing because it's a king. No, they in power. They ruling. Walk down their block. You'll see. This is a reality. So you have people that see what I'm doing and see the name king added to my title. And they get a megalomaniac perception of what I'm doing. They want to compete, but not compete at compassion. They don't want to compete at social services or compete at humanitarianism. They want to compete with a sense of power that they believe that I have. And the only power I have is to keep my mind focused. That's the only power that I have. Is to keep my mind on black God, black power, black supremacy, black divinity, black liberation, black nationhood, black love. That is the only power that I have. I don't have no other power. I don't have no other power. And to stay true to those principles, I have left armies of men who gathered out of power tripping. Because I came into nation building through enlightenment. I didn't come to it to get rich. I didn't come to this as a network marketing scheme. I didn't come to this to build a get money ball and click. I didn't come into nation building for that. I came into nation building out of a true quest for enlightenment, of self-realization. I read the holy books. I went through the spiritual organizations and studied. That's how I came into nation building. I didn't come to nation building as someone broke who said, now we can get paid now. We got to click. That ain't how I came in. I gave that up to be real and to be true. Because only with that reality and that truth can we stand against a real and true enemy. But if we live in a fantasy world, we are no match for the enemy, the real enemies that has took advantage of our stupidity. That's a fact. I'm talking about remembering us, remembering our greatness based upon the true love and compassion that we had for our own, which is why we ruled for ourselves, not our self. Big difference. Many black people are ruling for their self, not ourselves. Because that particular person got money, a personal ranch, 50 different cars, 4 houses, 4 cribs, $53,000 suits, a suitcase just what watch I'm going to wear today. You ruling for your goddamn self. You doing good. You eating good. But the white man's eating better off your dumb ass. Do you understand what I'm saying? Well, our condition has not changed. But you living great. Because of your misconception of reality. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that no man can rise above the condition of his people. But why do I keep seeing people rising above the condition of their people that claim they're about nation building, claim they're about black liberation, but their condition has so far exceeded the actual condition of their actual people. So they cannot even identify with the true struggles and the true conditions of our people. They do not even identify with it because they eating so good. You go and tell them you're hungry, they say, well, what is that? You hungry? What does that feel like? Could you explain that to me? We want to do a documentary on what it's like to be hungry. Tell us about this strange thing called hunger. They eating that damn good. That if they gave you some money because you was out on the street hungry, they don't relate to hunger so much that it would just be an idealistic act of charity. It will never occur to them that you was actually hungry, because they don't know what that is. I lived on the street, homeless. But that was a real experience so that I can relate to people. I rejected connecting with the cliques to ball, to be one of the ballers in their clique. I lived on the street with the common man so that I can understand the struggles of the common man. Because how can you help him out if you don't understand their struggle? Everything is idealistic. It's a grant, a non-for-profit scheme. You don't really relate. And if you didn't come into nation building out of a true, sincere compassion for others, you have not come into it at all. Because as soon as your condition change, you immediately forget about others. And it becomes a complete personal mission. Do you understand what I'm saying? We see it happen all the time. But if you was not at the lowest level, ever, you will not understand the continuous and consistent desire to help those that are at the lowest level. Because you don't even know what it's about. So as soon as that condition elevates, they say, fuck everybody else. It's just us now. We gonna get it against the world. No humanitarianism. Just me and my little clique. We straight. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is what happens. Something that started off a desire to help the people genuinely turned into a baller clique. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. This happens over and over again. But out of the compassion for others, we know that there are little girls being raped in their community by white devils. Shot by white devils. Realistically. This is in the news. This is really happening. Little girls being shot in the comfort of their own homes. There's people in the conscious communities. Conscious people out there individually being attacked by their family for their different ideas. DCFS trying to take their children from them because they're just vegetarians. Conscious people homeless in a community because they care about their people and they're studying. This is real. They're caring about their people and they're studying to improve themselves. And they're forced to be homeless by a community that won't accept anything but white supremacy. Forced to get a job and forced to do this and forced to do that. Nowhere to go. All the friends turning their back on them. All their family members saying, if you don't come into church, you're going to have to get the hell up out of here. That's who we are here for. So how do we become a baller clique? And we can't help those people. Now some of those people are going to come up to us and forget about us once we help their condition. I'm straight now. I didn't network. I don't need them niggas no more. Because they forget where they have come from. Because they wasn't deep enough in the hole. When you're deep in the hole, you never forget. When you taste the bottom, you never ever forget. That's humbling. You go a few days without eating. You will overstand the law of reciprocity. The selfishness and the rejection that you saw of others in your lowest situation. You will make it your thing never to do anybody like that. Because you really experienced it, right? On the lowest level. On the lowest level. So my point is that this is something that is based upon compassion for the real black people. We talk about that we want to help our people. But anybody we feel as deep as us or deeper, we feel intimidated by them as a conscious community. We want to help those that are per se are at a point where they uncompetitive to us. I'm about to break it down. It's about to be heavy. We want to help those that can't barely hold their pants up. We want to help those that is so far about thinking about consciousness that all we can do from helping them is gratify our egotistical about how deep we are. I'm hitting some spots now tonight. But if it's another conscious brother that seems like he got knowledge and information, that's the one we ain't going to help. We say we're going to save the world, but we won't help those who we feel intimidated by. This is real. We're going to go feed the homeless. But if you homeless and got consciousness, hell no, nigga. You won't let the closest conscious person and help them. I've seen this happen over and over again. That's why I'm bringing this up. People will not help the conscious person in their own neighborhood, in their own community. They won't help that individual that's conscious and homeless. But they're going to help the whole world. We're going to feed starving children in Africa. Not realizing that how we have to band together as conscious beings to become more effective to solving the problems of the world. But we are intimidated by other conscious people. You know why? Because our conscious community is based upon egotism. Who is the deepest? And how I'm going to look deep? If you deep. If I help you, how I'm going to be deep? I'm smarter than you. I've seen more John Henry Clark tapes than you, damn it. I watched more Amos Wilson than you did. That's the person that need our help on a real level. But we let our egotism jeopardize our compassion and our humanitarianism. This is real. So we rather help somebody who cannot help us help than be among somebody who we feel intimidated based upon their level of development. But if we help somebody who can help us help, then we can help more. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? But since the conscious community is a deep contest.
It is.
It's a deep contest. Then that's our division. It's not a compassion contest. It's a power contest, a depth contest. We ain't gonna build no black nation like that. We're not. The European puts his depth together to succeed over us. We separate competitively. My nation building is not about a knowledge nation. It's not a popular Afrocentric literature nation. While all this is relative, I take nothing away from the significance of studying and cultivating and developing our minds. Many say our issue is a lack of knowledge. But our real issue is a lack of compassion in our community. Because now you can go and talk to gangbangers and they are very knowledgeable. They know all the literature. But they lack the compassion for their community. Our issue is not a lack of knowledge, a lack of compassion. This is going to be difficult for people to grasp. Compassion comes from sincerity. Sincerity is based on real principle. And the highest principles on earth must be based on humanitarianism. Ain't no other principles of Ma'at and this and that and the other. The highest principles on earth are based on humanitarianism for black people. Call them what you want to. The highest principles is not on how we're going to be prepared to live on Mars. The highest principles are not on how we're going to interface with extraterrestrial beings. The highest principles are not on how we're going to get super deep.